was 16 years old.
I was 16.
17, 14 years old.
This is me.
This was me.
This is me when I met Jeffrey Epstein.
This is me when I met Jeffrey Epstein.
Out in the Caribbean, there's a small private island surrounded by nothing but open water. From the air, it looks calm, quiet, almost perfect. White beaches, thick greenery, expensive buildings tucked away from view. On the surface, it feels like a getaway for the ultra-rich. This island was known as Little St. James, part of the United States Virgin Islands. But for years, it carried a reputation no one wanted to talk about out loud. In 1998, a wealthy American financier bought the island for millions of dollars. He turned it into a locked-down luxury compound. Villas spread across the land, guest houses, pools, a gym, a helipad. Everything was private. No tourists, no locals, no press. If you were there, it was because you were invited. And once you arrived, the rest of the world felt very far away. People living on nearby islands noticed things didn't add up. Boats were told to keep their distance. Workers were warned not to ask questions. Over time, quiet rumors started moving around. Locals didn't talk openly, but they stayed away. Something about the place felt off, like there was more going on than anyone was willing to say. The man who owned the island didn't come from money. Earlier in life, he worked as a school teacher, teaching math in New York. He got pulled into elite financial circles and started managing money for extremely wealthy people. Suddenly, he had mansions in multiple states. He flew private. He hosted invite-only parties. He moved comfortably around powerful people. But there was always one question hanging in the air. How did he actually make his money? There were no clear answers, no transparent records. Still, doors kept opening for him. Behind the image of success and exclusivity, something much darker was happening. In 2005, a single police complaint in Palm Beach, Florida, cracked the story open. A teenage girl told police she'd been offered cash to give a massage at a rich man's house. When she arrived, things crossed a line. According to investigators, it turned into sexual abuse. When police asked more questions, she mentioned other girls. That's when everything started to unravel. Detectives talked to those girls. Each one pointed to more victims. The list kept growing. It became clear this wasn't a one-off situation. This wasn't confusion or bad judgment. It was a pattern. Investigators learned that young girls, many under 18, were being recruited again and again. Some were paid to bring in other girls. Others were targeted because they were vulnerable.
Really wanted this job. So I opened up to them. I said, look, this is an opportunity of a lifetime for me. I've been on the streets, I've been abused, and that's the worst thing that I could have done. Because I just let them know that I'm vulnerable and I'm their perfect type.
Over time, this turned into a pipeline that just kept running. The abuse was organized, repeated, and protected by money and influence. As the number of victims climbed, local police realized they were dealing with something much bigger than a local case. Federal authorities stepped in. The FBI opened an investigation that stretched across several states and even reached the private island in the Caribbean. Evidence suggested this had been going on for years, across multiple locations. Normally, cases like this end one way: long sentences, public trials, real consequences. That's not what happened. In 2008, the financier received a plea deal that stunned everyone involved. Instead of facing serious federal charges, he pled guilty to lesser state offenses. His punishment was minimal. While in custody, he was given privileges that most inmates never see. He could leave jail for much of the day and return only at night. He stayed in a separate area, away from everyone else. Even more disturbing, Many of the victims were never told this deal existed. It was kept quiet, sealed, and it shut the case down completely. For years, there were no real consequences. After his release, life went back to normal for him. He traveled, he spent money, he stayed connected. The story faded from the headlines, and it looked like the system had failed. Again, but the silence didn't last. Years later, an investigative journalist went back through the case. She spent years digging through records, talking to victims, and tracking down details that had been ignored. In 2018, her reporting laid everything out: the scale of the abuse, the number of victims, and how the system kept dropping the ball. The stories sparked outrage, media coverage exploded, public pressure built fast. That pressure forced federal authorities to act. In July 2019, the financier was arrested again, this time on federal sex trafficking charges. No bail, no special treatment. If convicted, he was looking at spending the rest of his life in prison. For the first time, it felt like accountability was finally on the table. Then the case took another turn. In August 2019, he was found dead in his jail cell.
The disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein is dead. Epstein took his own life while he was behind bars, facing charges of sex trafficking.
Officials ruled it a suicide. Almost immediately, people started asking questions. Security cameras weren't working. Required checks didn't happen. Protocols failed. And because he died before trial, many answers were never heard in court.
The video was released by the Department of Justice to prove that no one entered Epstein's cell before he was found dead, and that he really did take his own life. But it's only fueling more conspiracy theories.
After his death, thousands of documents were released. Most were heavily redacted. Names blacked out, pages missing key details. Even now, many files remain sealed. The core questions are still there. Who else was involved? Who protected him? And how did this go on for so long?
The list of clients that went to the island has not been made public.
The Epstein thing. But yeah, I'd be inclined to do the Epstein. I'd have no problem with it.
Today, the island is quiet. The buildings are still there, but the activity is gone. What remains is the aftermath. This story isn't just about one man or one island. It's about what happens when power outweighs accountability, when money buys silence, and when the system meant to protect people fails the ones who need it most. Because even when the truth is buried, it doesn't stay buried forever.